Walker. If you don't mind, please rise with me for our invocation, and please remain standing after the invocation for the pledge. Councilman Alexander, will you give our invocation?
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for this day, Lord, for the opportunity to come and discuss the town's business. I pray that you be with us as we meet here tonight. Lord, thank you for each person that's here and each family that's represented. I pray you be with us as we go from this place. Watch over us and protect us. And Father, I want to pause to remember the life of Miss Lois, a sweet lady, Lord, who lived here in town and who is now with you. Lord, I just pray that you be with her family. Lord, just bless them during this time of loss. And Father, I pray for this family on the Mill Hill who has lost their house in a fire. Lord, I just want them to love and share with them. And I pray, Father, that everything that is said and done here in this place tonight.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Please. All right, council members, in your pack, will entertain a motion to adopt them.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Have a motion on the floor by Councilman Alexander, second by Councilman Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question on the approval of the minutes. All in favor? And
In favor as well.
okay, we have none opposed. Next up, we have public comment. Okay, next up we have Christmas Park, Williamston Goes Griswold, and Deck the Hall Awards. Who is... All right, make sure that please take that microphone with you. Don't walk off and leave the microphone sitting there, because the folks watching online cannot hear you at all.
Okay, I wanted to first thank everybody that participated in Deck the Halls. Everyone did an excellent job, and without you all, we wouldn't have what we had here. We wouldn't have the traffic that we had, the people that we had, the restaurants visited, the crowds that came, and the park attendance. We wouldn't have had any of that without all y'all helping. I appreciate that so much. For the winners, we had Best Organization. There was a tie between the Carolina Community Center and Carolina Family Services. All right. Okay, and then we had the Best Religious Organization, Bethel Church of God. Thank you so much. Then we had the Best Individual was Suicide Awareness by Cindy Whitten. Then we had Most Whimsical, Moore Cemetery by Amisha Moore. Thank you. Many people up here at one time. Let's line up over there. Then we had Most Creative, Christmas at Grandma's by Pam Henry. And if you all saw this was one of the neatest things I've ever seen. She crocheted each piece of that and crocheted the cord. I mean, it was just awesome. All the ornaments, it was just very, very good. Took a lot of time, didn't it? 3 months. Yeah. I couldn't do that. Here's treasures. Best Business, Maple Bakery and Coffee House, gingerbread. I'll take that too. And Best of Show, Christina Ortiz, State Farm, The Grinch.
Okay, so Envision Williamson did Williamson Goes Griswold again this year. It's our Christmas decorating contest that goes on throughout town. We had a lot of displays, and we want to thank everybody who participated. First up, we have Best Individual Display, and that goes to Frank Cole. Next up, we have Best Business Display, and that goes to Jackson Family Realtors. Next up, we have the awards for the Christmas park displays. This year was really great. We had a lot of compliments on the park this year. Also, all the town employees who worked hard getting the town displays out and ensuring that the park was in good shape for all the visitors to get. So the first award we have is for the Best Business Display. It goes to Hayes Investments. The next award we have is Best Individual, and that goes to Brianna and Chase Childs for Clyde Strong in memory of Clyde. Next up, we have Best Organization Display, and that goes to the Palmetto Business Association. Next, we have Best Religious Display, and that goes to Williamston First Baptist. And then last, we have Best of Show, and that goes to Eureka Baptist Church.
All right, is that all the presentations y'all have? Good deal. Thank y'all so much for everybody that pitched in at Christmas time. Williamston is definitely a magical place at Christmas, and that's due to hardworking folks like you guys who believe in their community, who go out and put up displays, and we're so grateful for you taking part in our community. I speak on behalf of our council as well as our residents, so thank you very much. Y'all give yourself a round of applause. All right, we're going to go continue on about the town's business. So next up we have Chief Marcy. Actually, let me move this around. We're going to move around the ceremonial swearing in of Councilman David Rogers. It's good to have him on board representing Ward 3. That's Ward 3. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I believe. Huh? Anyhow, if y'all will come up front. I've done that too several times. We just keep getting back together. Give him little bits at a time. Don't overwhelm him.
I do solemnly swear that I am duly qualified, according to the Constitution of this state, to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been elected, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties thereof, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of this state and the United States. So help me God. As a council member of the municipality of Livingston, I will equally, fairly, and impartially, to the best of my ability and skill, exercise the trust reposed in me, and I will use my best endeavor to preserve the peace and carry into effect, according to the law, the purpose for which I have been elected. So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, welcome aboard. Now we have Chief Marcy. You're up next for recognitions.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you for having us. The first thing before I give these recognitions is on behalf of the people I know with your number of years. When you get old like me and gray-haired, you don't remember everybody that you hire. That I remember hiring is seated at the back by the name of Officer Josh Cobb. Completing the police academy is not an easy thing. It's a tough thing. Takes a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, and a lot of hard work. You just give me this chance, I'll make you proud. And I promise you he did. He worked hard. He worked around the clock. He studied day and night to get through that process. And he graduated. Well, here we are 4 years later. Officer Cobb has chosen to stay with us, which we appreciate. Consistently, put forward the effort needed to reach that next step. A merit increase within our department, and that's the level between a basic officer. I apologize, I'm blind as a bat. Your qualifications, achievements, and performance, you have successfully met all the requirements. This appointment reflects and exceeds established standards in areas such as discipline, leadership, and operational performance, has earned you this well-deserved recognition. The dedication and professionalism you have displayed in your role have made a significant impact on both your team and the department as a whole. Please accept my heartfelt congratulations on your appointment. I look forward to your continued contributions to the department and wish you every success in your new role. And now, as is customary, we will have the pinning of Corporal Cobb. Just Hey, you did that better than he does. And your badge, sir. Congratulations. In addition, I want to say it says a lot about Corporal Cobb now when I look out in the audience and I see his fellow officers who have come to see him get pinned tonight. So thank you all for being here. If you read at the Williamston Police Department, we have a tremendous amount of community outreach as well. And that's something that we're very proud of. But it's also something very difficult because of our manpower and our resources that we have to put forth toward that effort. But there's one officer who has come on board as our school resource officer who has time and again reached out to the community. Back during the hurricane, we all know what that was like. You had people out there that they were hungry, they didn't have the resources they needed. They needed, basic needs such as soap, Serve and Connect, among others. Third quarter. Performance and service to the town of Williamston, officer of the third quarter. But thank you for what you did. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. That's all I have.
Thank you. Congratulations, Officer Cobb and Officer Mahaffey. We appreciate what you guys do for us each and every day. It means a lot.
And let the record reflect, I had the microphone.
You carried the microphone with you this time. Thank you. People tripping over Christmas trees out there.
I was waiting.
I lost my way.
I was trying to be patient. Hope y'all had a wonderful holiday Safarium. We spent more than $1,500 in prizes. We have 45 adult prizes and 20 kid prizes, and the grand prize for adults is an iRobot vacuum mop. So make sure you come and try to get the iRobot vacuum mop. March will bring the spring pastor's breakfast and the spring junk in your trunk yard sale. We're currently working with the town on getting a curtain for the stage for Williamston's United Talent Show. There's some questions about whether the curtain that we currently have was a front curtain. We're going to see, we're going to hang it and just see how that works, but it's possible that we're going to have to look into maybe a curtain for the stage for the talent show, but we have until September, so we're giving it plenty of time to get ready for that. We have confirmed some great talent I'm excited to tell y'all about for 25. Kendall Lampford will be back in Williamston. She'll be rocking the spring in April for one of our events. DJ Easy will be our music at Cinco de Mayo. The Combo Kings will be performing at the Masonic Lodge Pig in the Park in May. And the first time ever in Williamston, Rhythm Jab will round out the entertainment this year at the end of the Summer Bash. So there's some really good names that'll be coming. And at this time, I would like to call Radiant Life up and make a presentation to Chief Marcy.
I'm Donnie Walker from Radiant Life Church in West Pelzer, and this is my wife, Deb Walker, and this is more her brainchild. So I'm going to let her explain to her what she's doing with this. I work with the church board, and so I'm just kind of helping her out with this, but I'm going to let her explain it to you.
What our church has decided to do is we're going to put totes and all the police vehicles in Williamston, in the town of Williamston. Our church has a budget set up for them. These are to be given to any child that needs them or whatever. We've kind of gone from small to some of the elementary ages, but we will refill them for your officers. All they have to do is just call us. And this is just something I've been passionate about. I've done fire and EMS, but I've never done police. So this is really important to me.
Just a quick word, and I want to say there's no greater partners we have in this community than our faith-based organizations. They truly make a difference. Many years ago, I was told that when I came into this profession, I would have a front row seat to the absolute worst in humanity. But guess who else does? Our community's children. When we respond to domestics, we find kids in the worst imaginable situations. But imagine handing that child something like this, a little comfort. But we greatly appreciate that, and we will put these to very good use. Thank you.
And y'all will be glad to know that's everything I have.
Thank you. We appreciate it very much, and thank y'all, Radiant Life Church, for that initiative. I was a sheriff's deputy many, many moons ago, and like Chief Marcy said, when you can pull something out of your trunk just as a distraction for a kid, it makes a big, big difference. It really does. We had a program very similar to that at the sheriff's office. I'm not sure if they still have it or not, but I'm grateful to have community partners like you guys that'll support our police officers, and I know our police officers greatly appreciate it as well. Thank you. All right, at this time, I'm going to move that we amend the agenda for the election of the mayor pro tem. State law requires that every 2 years, or after every election, we elect from this body a mayor pro tem who will serve as mayor in the mayor's absence or the mayor's untimely death. Hopefully we have neither one. No, seriously, we have to do that every 2 years, and I failed to include that on the agenda, and I realized at about 4 o'clock, the mayor pro tem.
Second to amend.
Have a second on the motion by Councilman Haygood. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? And our agenda is amended. We will now open the floor. I will now open the floor for nominations of mayor pro tem.
Taking into consideration the excellent job that Chris Alexander has done over about a period of 2 years, 4 years, I would feel comfortable with nominating Chris Alexander as our mayor pro tem.
You have a. Okay. We have two nominations in support of Councilman Alexander. Any other nominations? Hearing no other nomination, we'll call the question. All in favor of Councilman Alexander? Congratulations or deepest sympathies. We're not sure which one. Because the mayor pro tem also gets to be my sounding board too, so they have to listen to me whine. So, thank you for being willing to serve, Councilman Alexander. At this time, we have a proclamation to honor Miss Emma Lewis Slade, and I will read that proclamation in its entirety. If you'll notice up front here, we have Miss Slade. I think most everybody in Weaves is probably familiar with Miss Slade. You can find her in the park, usually going up and down Hamilton Street, somewhere on that scooter. I think that thing probably has 100,000 miles on it. She drove that thing everywhere, and she was always a blessing to be able to see her, whether she was in Mineral Spring Park. If there was an event, you could about count on Miss Slade being there. So I'm going to read this proclamation honoring her today. Whereas Emma Lois Slade, age 92, known to her family as Lois, passed away peacefully on Thursday, December the 12th, 2024, at NHC Long-Term Care Center in Anderson. She was born on September the 26th, 1932, in Williamston, South Carolina, and attended Caroline Public School, and was the oldest living member of the Lee family. And whereas at the age of 16, she moved with her mother, Essie Lee Taylor, to Washington, D.C., where she worked at Meridian Hill Hotel. She married 2 years later and eventually returned and settled down in her beloved hometown of Williamston, South Carolina in 1997, where she resided on Church Street. Whereas one of her proudest accomplishments and her greatest joys was being a mother to her 6 children, Carlton Slade, Ruby Slade, Lois Slade, Calvin Slade, Cassandra Kiesler, and Monica Acker, and a doting grandmother to 16 grandchildren. 21 great-grands took great pride in her community, despite she was often seen in her electric wheelchair attending the spring water fun. Every year her entry won first prize in the commercial category with a nativity scene of a manger and the baby Jesus. And whereas Miss Slade could often be found having breakfast at McDonald's and was a regular fixture at Ace Hardware, Dollar General, Walgreens, and her favorite place, the Haven of Rest thrift store. And whereas Miss Slade loved to take on new opportunities and challenges, and she did so with honesty, integrity, and with a positive attitude. She had very strong values and attributes for good life and longevity to her faith in God, her love for family, and her love for people. And whereas Miss Slade's legacy will carry on, reminding us like Christ modeled for us. Now therefore I, Rocky D. Burgess, as Mayor of the Town of Williamston, hereby posthumously recognize and honor Emma Lois Slade for her accomplishments and dedication to the Town of Williamston. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and sealed this 20th day of December 2024. I will ask that we all rise and have a moment of silence in honor of Miss Slade and her contributions to our community. Pretty much everybody in Williamston knows our new Miss Slade. And at this time I would ask her family, if you're here and you're a family member, if you don't mind coming forward and stand here in front of the wheelchair with me, and I will sign the proclamation. Is this the one that we're going to use? Okay. Okay.
Guys, if you want to, you can move it up a little bit so everybody can get around it.
Have one that will be framed as well for you. Stand up here. Thank y'all so much for coming. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. Thank y'all. Brought a lot of her. Sweet lady. And you are? Okay. Ms. Ruby would like to have a word.
Well, I would just like to thank the town of Williamston for everything that you did for my mother. When she was out late, past dark, of course, she had a big flashlight to lead her, guide her on. But some of the police officers would follow her home and make sure she got home safely. And we appreciate that. And, some of the other people here do the same thing. And we just appreciate that. And, we love Williamston. My mother loves Williamston. So thank you so much.
We love her too. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yes, sir. All right, our next item of new business that we have is first reading on an ordinance regarding provision of water and sewer service outside of the town limits. I apologize, we did not have time to have a work session before this meeting, or I would have brought this up. I know council members, we've discussed previously about issues we have with donut holes. If you're not familiar with the donut hole, that's basically where corporate limits surround a property, and that property is not in the city limits. It causes confusion for law enforcement, causes confusion for a lot of different people, primarily me, because it's really hard for me to figure out, is this one in or is it out? And then it makes it really, really difficult for codes enforcement, because you'll go through and they'll go, a lot of the community will serve them, hey, a notice that, hey, they need to clean this area up or whatnot, and then they go, well, what about this person over here? They're not in the city. Well, how are they not in the city? Everything around it is. So, state statute, they've been working on, our General Assembly has been working on ways and means by which we can close those donut holes so you have clear defined lines of what's the corporate limits of the town and what's not. One of the things, I've reached out to the Municipal Association, and one of the things that they had recommended that we look at doing is passing an ordinance, and that's this ordinance before you tonight, that basically says that, I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but if we provide water and sewer service to you, and you are contiguous to corporate town limits, your property adjoins other corporate limits, other property within the corporate limits of the town, that if the property changes hands, you must annex into the city, or we choose not to provide you with water and sewer service. Now, keep in mind, we've been doing that now for about 5 years anyway, at least under my administration. We don't provide water and sewer service unless you live within the city limits of Williamston, any new customers. If you're contiguous. If you're building a new home and you're not contiguous, that's no issue. But if you're contiguous, we want you to be in the city limits. So this ordinance would do that. It basically puts that in writing that says, again, if the property is contiguous and it changes hands, you sell or something like that happens, then, or they change the name of a business, if it's a business, that business changes names, that would trigger this to go into effect. There are a couple of exceptions, one of which is if the property is transferred to an immediate family, also be an exception. So that's it in a nutshell. Again, we're not changing anything that we're not already doing upon the property changing hands, if we're going to continue to provide water and or sewer service. So a motion on the floor by Councilman Alexander. Lee, have you had a chance to read it? Lee's also an attorney in the room, so he usually has pretty good questions.
No, I have, and I am in favor of this in principle, and we'll look forward to it.
Gotcha. If for some reason the property owner is denied, if a formal annexation petition on any lot, piece, or parcel of land located outside the corporate limits of the town and also is contiguous to the town is denied by the town, other water or service may be provided to the property, notwithstanding Section A of contiguous properties. So if we deny water or sewer service based on their location and not being in the city limits, they still can get a well or septic tank or that type of stuff through other means. Or if water or sewer is not available, they can still do that. That's an option for them. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? And we do plan on having a second reading on that next month. That was unanimous, by the way. All right, this time, next up we have the opportunity to go into executive session to discuss the municipal judge. Prior to doing that, I would move that we basically go into recess for a period of a few minutes so that Councilman Rogers, myself, and the town attorney can meet for just a couple of minutes before we go into executive session on a different matter. So I'll entertain a motion to recess for approximately 10 minutes.
So moved.
A motion on the floor by Councilman Alexander. Second by Councilman Haygood. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor? We'll be back here in about maybe even less than 10 minutes. But